We're out here in Bedford, Kentucky at KMC Wheels Battle of the Bluegrass at the Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park.
I love the green and the trees, and it's a different setting for racing, something besides cactus and freaking rocks.
The course down here at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park, a lot of hills and a lot of trees, so you're either going up or down or left and right.
Welcome to the third and final stop of the Ultra 4 Spider Tracks Eastern Regional Series, the KMC Wheels Battle in Bluegrass.
Getting ready to have some fun in Bedford, Kentucky.
This course is actually a lot of fun. We have short course, and then you dive off in the wood sections, and then you come back into the short course.
The short course is awesome. It's one of the best short courses I've ever been on.
It has all the East Coast big hill climbs and all the crazy things you expect from rock bouncers and Ultra 4. And then you got the world-class short course here.
The exciting part is they've changed the course a little bit this year from last year. Last year it was all single track, and if one person had a problem, we were bumper to bumper hitting each other, and there's no way around. This year they've made the course 5 cars wide. There'll be cars side by side up hills taking different lines. I really like the course they have this year.
This year, the Ultra 4 racing season has been filled with big names, hot courses, and even bigger wins. It all started with the annual King of the Hammers race, which saw Shannon Campbell clinch his third King of the Hammers crown. We then traveled to Sierra Blanca, Texas for the Western Regional Series opener, where Waylon Campbell started his season off right by taking the checkered flag. Just a month later in Davis, Oklahoma, we kicked off the Spider Tracks Eastern Regional Series with some serious rain and mud. Clay Gilstrap finished gloriously, taking his first win of the season. At the Metal Cloak Stampede, Levi Shirley clinched his spot in the hunt for the championship points, taking first place. We then found ourselves in Indiana at the RCD Badlands Brawl. There, Shirley found himself atop the podium once again. That brings us up to date for the 2017 Ultra 4 racing season. Qualifying was a little different in Kentucky than the other races of the season, as a 2-stage qualifying process was implemented for the first time. Kicking off a full afternoon of qualifying was the UTV class, with competitors like Matt Myrick, Sean Halch, and Darian Gomez setting the pace for fellow racers. Then it was the 4800 class's turn.
This weekend I'm going to be pushing pretty hard. We are right behind Brad Lovell in points and going to push really hard to beat him. If we win the race, we're first in points and doing really well in the national championships.
Also known as the Legends class, the 4800 class sported some big names, with Kent Foltz, Craig Conley, and Bailey Cole making up the top 3 qualifiers. Up next were the 4500 class competitors, led by Matt Howell in the 4510 car. After 2 rounds of qualifying, Howell set in the pole position for Saturday's race, followed by Dwayne Gerritsen and Jesse Oliver in second and third. When the 4400 class finally hit the qualifying course, it was early evening and everyone was set on making their best runs despite what the morning had brought them.
Got up through the real steep, difficult parts really quick, no problem. Coming around the corner, I decided to go around. I caught the inner berm. The car really kind of held traction, came up on 2, and before I know it, I was facing down the other side of the hill.
This
This morning started out pretty interesting. I had a motor problem and lost a rod. My dad was kind enough to let me use his car since I'm doing so well in the points. I wasn't really sure what to expect hopping into it because I've never driven it before, and it turns out it's an animal. I definitely was not the fastest. I hit a wall and killed a tire and had to back up a couple times, but it happens. Qualifying's qualifying, and you never know what's gonna happen until race day.
I'm sitting in the pole position, and I got ahead of Waylon. That's exactly what I needed to do. Waylon's in Shannon's car. It's basically a newer, updated version of what him and I both drive, so it's gonna be interesting.
When qualifying was over, it was Matt Myrick who took the pole position for Saturday's race in the UTV class. Kent Fultz took the pole in the 4800 class. Matt Howell took the pole in the 4500 class, and Levi Shirley took the pole in the 4400 class. When we return, competitors will take on a full day of racing. Welcome back to Journey to the Hammers, brought to you by Spider Tracks, KMC, Jeep, and Nitto. Welcome back to the KMC Wheels Battle in Bluegrass at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park in Bedford, Kentucky. Kicking off a full day of racing was the UTV class, with new to Ultra 4 Matt Myrick taking to the course first.
All my goal is to keep my RZR together and bring it across the finish line, and I think that if I'm able to do that, I'll be up in the top 3 or 5.
Qualifying yesterday went pretty good. I've never Ultra 4 raced before. I've hit the track a few times when I've been here. Ended up with pole position today, so I'm pumped. First race ever. I'm gonna push it as hard as I can and see if I can keep the machine together and finish, because if you pit here, you're gonna lose.
While they may be the smallest race vehicle to compete in the Ultra 4 racing series, the UTV class sees just about every single obstacle that the other classes do, including the go-fast sections of the short course, river crossings, hill climbs, and narrow tree passages, which take not only skill behind the wheel, but also an innate ability to navigate. The biggest hill climb of the course got the best of many of the UTV class competitors, including Dustin Robbins, whose car took quite the tumble after being unhooked from its anchor point following some repair work. After a tough 8-lap race, Darian Gomez pulled ahead for the win in the number 90 car with a total race time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 38 seconds.
Racing through the woods were really different from what I'm used to racing. I'm used to racing wide, open tracks. Here was kind of hard, trying to take it wide, but I was like, ooh, I want to get close to those woods. So it was fun racing through those woods. It was like trail riding with my buddies.
Next up, the limited classes hit the course. Pole setter Matt Howell was in the hunt for another Eastern Series win following his win in Indiana.
Overall, we had a really good qualifying time. We were first in the short course and second in the hill climb. And so that put us first overall. So we're starting on pole today.
While the competition was brutal, Matt Howell took the checkered flag, being the only competitor to finish 10 laps in a little over 2 hours.
Man, what a race. We're kind of battling it out with Dwayne Garrettson, car number 26. They're in the lead for the Eastern Series, and we really needed to qualify strong, which we were able to pull that off, and then we needed a really strong finish, and we really needed to finish in front of Dwayne to hopefully clinch the Eastern Series. We'll see.
In the 4800 class, it was Kent Fultz in the 4805 car that was first to take the course. With 11 laps to battle it out for the win, every competitor went out of the gate throwing down their A game. While many were successful in their pursuit, a handful of competitors didn't even make it to their third lap due to various mechanical issues along the way. Pushing his car hard, third place qualifier Bailey Cole raced with prowess, taking over the lead for the 4800 class quickly. But with fellow competitors like Cade and Chase Rod, along with Brad Lovell biting at his heels, Bailey had to step up his game to maintain his edge. Laying down a clean 11 laps with some of the quickest lap times of the pack led to Bailey Cole taking the checkered flag with over a minute lead.
And we were able to win our third race in a row. It was a great race and able to run nice and smooth. The Trent Fab car felt amazing. Went nice and fast. Griffin radiators kept us cool. And Nitto tires and KMC, we didn't have a single tire issue. Cade Rod fell back early on, but 3 laps to go, he got within 30 seconds of me and I said I didn't like that. Stepped it up, went about 2 minutes faster a lap and ended up on top of the box. It was a great day of racing.
Following Bailey in were Cade Rod in second and Brad Lovell in third. Coming up, the 4400 class hits the course for a wild 16-lap showdown. Welcome back to Journey to the Hammers with a tech tip, brought to you by Fab School.
My name is Joey Westhoff. I'm an instructor at the Fab School. When building any type of center console, dash, body panel, anything, a lot of people believe that you have to have some sort of tube structure behind the panel, and that is not the case. At the Fab School, and we use a backbone technique where we overlap 2 panels, but on the other side of that, we create a backbone, and it creates a very rigid structure. If you're into working with your hands and you want to pursue a career in metal fabrication, check us out on the web at thefabschool.com or 877-411-WELD.
Welcome back to the KMC Wheels Battle in Bluegrass, where the 4400 class competitors are preparing to hit the starting line for their main race.
Right now I'm sitting in the number 2 spot in points nationally. I'm like 20 points behind Waylon, which it's super close. It's gonna come down to this race specifically.
We've been battling each other all year long. Yeah, just been 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and he's slowly been squeezing the gap on points and on me.
He's gonna be on fire, but I'm a firm believer in my driving abilities and my car as well.
The race started out smooth for some competitors, but for others, it ended with less than 1 lap down. Jeff Brown in the number 320 car was one of those to end his race early due to an engine fire shortly off the starting line. With many of Ultra 4's top drivers competing for points, the race was right on track as an epic battle from the beginning. The short course proved to be quick work for the 4400 class. But things quickly became more challenging when the drivers hit the steep hill climbs and narrow forest trails. After qualifying 20th, Eric Miller started in the back of the pack, just like he did in the 2016 race, but that didn't stop him from fighting his way to a top position.
I'm kind of making a habit of starting from the back and making a long day for myself. Started out a little rough, came in on the first lap, right in front of Bailey Campbell. She started in front of us, we found a way around her, and right up on Bombshell, that first climb that we qualified on. I've done it 50 times now. Just a little too hot to the bottom and stood the car up. So much so I had to hit neutral and back into reverse so I didn't end up going over backwards. She was right on me, expecting me to be a driver and get up it like I should have. And we got tangled up, caught my tire carrying her front bumper, and it broke the strap. So when I came through on the next lap, my guys were like, Eric, the rear tire's flapping. You gotta pit, we gotta take care of it, because if it ends up flat down, it can get into the rear end and be a big problem. So really, we kind of started off shaky and almost a lap down right out of the get-go. After that, we ran clean. We just progressively pushed and pushed and pushed. It was really funny because I was on Waylon's tail and Levi pretty much all day, but I was a lap down. So it was super frustrating dealing with traffic and knowing that I had to get in front of these guys to even have a chance to get out and make that lap back up, and slowly but surely chipping away at it. And we were able to put it on the box today from way back in the middle of the pack. Proud of that.
Qualifying in pole position and going into the main race in close contention with Waylon Campbell for the national championship points, Levi Shirley fought tooth and nail to keep his position at the front of the pack.
For the most part, I ran up front all day. About lap 13, it all started unfolding. I got a right front flat tire. Then from there, my car kind of started to run bad. I ended up giving up 2 spots because of that. The last lap was probably one of the toughest laps for me. I got hit by a dirt clod in my eye, lost my contact and couldn't see, and then my right eye was getting full of dirt and I couldn't see, and I was just kind of driving by braille out there. It's frustrating.
When all was said and done, Waylon came out on top of the podium, followed by Eric Miller in second after corrected time, and Levi Shirley in third.
Competing against Levi, man, it's awesome. I grew up with a guy, and he's fast, and he's one of my biggest rivals out here. And just to be able to go back and forth with him, I feel like I'm getting better at this, and I'm starting to put up a better fight and stuff. And it was a flawless day, and I couldn't wish for anything else.
We came into this race with being first and second points, and my goal was to win this race. Man, I almost had it done. Had that little bit of a slip up there at the end, Waylon got around me, but we're still very close in the points. Anything can happen in Fallon, and anything can happen in Nationals. So 2 races left, I hope I can catch them.
Over 70 drivers competed in the KMC Wheel Battle in Bluegrass. In the UTV class, it was Darian Gomez that took the checkered flag, followed by Sean Halch and Michael Lee. In the 4500 class, Matt Howell clinched the top spot on the podium, with Cody St. Clair and Rob Matzel following in second and third. In the 4800 class, it was Bailey Cole who took the checkered, followed by Cade Rod and Brad Lovell. And in the 4400 class, it was Waylon Campbell in first, with Eric Miller and Levi Shirley following behind. After the break, a number of 4400 class cars take on their rock-bouncing rivals in the Holley EFI Southern Rock Racing Series versus Ultra 4 Shootout. Welcome back to Journey to the Hammers, brought to you by Spider Tracks, Holley EFI, KMC, and Can-Am. Welcome back to Bedford, Kentucky, where the main Ultra 4 races may be over, but the fun is just getting started with the Holley EFI Southern Rock Racing Series versus Ultra 4 Shootout.
So this year we have the Holley EFI SRRS versus Ultra 4 Shootout. I'm really excited to go see it. I'm not going to be competing in it. Those guys are crazy.
Watching it in person, I got a new respect for the rock bouncers. They are purpose-built vehicles that just fly up those hills.
Obviously, we're going to start between these 2 Holley signs. As always, I know the Ultra 4 guys don't really follow our rules. Breaking the tape doesn't affect you. It doesn't DQ you unless you're purposely going a different course than you should be. All right, anything else? We're going to show on the road.
Our cars are your Kentucky Derby cars. Their cars are the Bronx you ride on Saturday nights.
An Ultra 4 car is kind of the sniper rifle of cars. A rock bouncer is the bazooka. You just kind of aim and hope for the best, and it'll do something great.
The hills these guys climb are pretty insane. You know, it's a lot different than what we do, and they're crazy.
Rock bouncer in one word. Wapow.
Horsepower.
A screw loose.
I want to say loud.
Redneck.
I'd have to say insane.
Chaos?
It's complete chaos, and it's awesome. I love it.
With some of the best and most well-known rock bouncers taking on some of the top drivers in the Ultra 4 world, the shootout was set to be a battle right off the bat.
We got Clayton Hollinsworth, he's real competitive. Bobby Tanner's real competitive. Ryan Bromahill in the Hulk Buggy, he's real competitive. Joe Pierce, there's a bunch of guys here. I could sit here and name them all off, it'd take forever, but there's no telling who's gonna win.
With the competitors sent up one of Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park's biggest and most gnarly hill climbs, plenty of rock flying, dirt spraying, and car thrashing fun was had by all. After a lot of carnage, Jeff Caudill took second place in his Ultra 4 car, but Jake Berkey took the top spot with his rock bouncer. The Ultra 4 Racing Series season is winding down, with just one race left until Nationals. Next, we'll be headed to Fallon, Nevada for the final race in the Western Regional Series, the PCI Race Radio's Fallon 250. Nationals follow, with the final race of the season solidifying who the 2017 national champions will be.